Good morning, or almost afternoon, actually, because yesterday was strange, last night was strange, and I didn't get to sleep till about 3:30 this morning. And I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to say things are getting weird. Okay. Today is Monday. It is March 24th, and it is going to be very Monday-like. So we have the Sun-Mercury conjunction happening today. This is the sun shining a light on Mercury, okay? Mercury in its retrograde, it's been burning off the old stories as it reaches the center of the sun today, where you get that big clarity on where your mind has been. And then it'll move on and you burn off the old stories that you gain from that clarity before we get to the other side where you can see things more clearly and it moves, turns direct and starts moving forward again. I want to talk today. I mean, I don't bring this up, but I feel like this is really important given all the other transits that are happening right now. Mars is in a square with Chiron. It's actually exact, I think, tomorrow, but they're both at 21 degrees right now. And Mars is ruling this Sun-Mercury conjunction, and it was ruling the Sun-Venus conjunction that we had Friday. Or Saturday. I don't even remember anymore. I'm so tired. But this is really important because what's happening here is we're really seeing where we have been held back by society, family, friends, relationships, by the other people in our lives, where people have tried to put us in this little box and expected us to stay there no matter how unhappy we were or how uncomfortable we were. It's just the way it's supposed to be, and you got to stay here in this box. We're finding out, I think a lot of people might be realizing where maybe they've had like some built up self-hatred inside of them because of this. I know we think that self-deprecating humor is funny, and it is, but that comes from the bullying of other people, the people trying to put you in this box that you don't belong in because you're different from everybody else around you for whatever reason. So you might be seeing that come up here over these next few days if you haven't already been feeling it coming up. And today we're going to get that clarity on it. I think we are going to see people lashing out today. Like there's a tension, there's a boiling point that is very much building. And that clarity that we get today might kind of trigger things where people start lashing out a bit. Now, there's obviously a lot of connection to the past here with Venus being retrograde and Mercury being retrograde and Mars being in Cancer, which is sentimental and nostalgic, okay? The moon is in Aquarius, so it's being ruled by Uranus and Taurus, where things are very uncomfortable when it comes to your values and your safety and your security, your finances and such. And Taurus also has a tendency towards that nostalgia type of energy, whereas Aquarius wants us to like move forward and let go. But that moon is going to be making a sextile to Venus. It's going to make a conjunction to Pluto. It's going to make a sextile to the Sun and Mercury. This is a really good time to have conversations, and it could be around like what's going on in the world around us, this intensity that's happening within the collective, and really kind of clicking something in your mind where you're realizing that it's time to just be who you are and screw everybody else. The destruction that is happening within the collective, within communities, is really showcasing why life is so hard, because we're always trying to fit in this box that has to do with money, finances, and things of that nature. There's that Taurus energy coming up there, and we're really starting to kind of click out of that and realize that this is not it. I don't know if I posted it here or not, but about a week and a half ago, I said something along the lines of, I think that most of us are just going to quit participating in like the capitalist reindeer games. And that's going to be a large portion of like what we see happen as like a resistance revolution, whatever you want to call it, type of thing. I did not know at the time about this whole silent riot thing that was being organized. I came across that this morning actually, and I was like, that's kind of weird, because that's exactly what it was that I was kind of seeing happening. And yeah, I think a lot of us are just going to pull back out of society, and today might be that day where things just really start to click for you as to why society as the way it has been is just not good for anyone. So keep that in mind as you go through the day. A lot of people are going to lash out about it. It's hard, it's uncomfortable, it's stressful. It can make you very angry to build an entire life around something and realize that it was never right to begin with, you know? So people might lash out, but it is a good time to have conversations about it if you can have one without arguments. So let's pull some cards for you guys for today. See, what is the energy for the collective today? That Six of Cups, that's that nostalgia. That's that thinking back to, you know, maybe when times were good, when things were easier, when things were more like innocent type of things. So you really might have your mind on that today with all of the retrograde and Cancer and Taurus energy. What to focus on today? There is really going to be a temptation to kind of move backwards today. For whatever reason, even if it's just to say, hey, I screwed up, I'm sorry. I want to point out that if this does happen, you see somebody come back in your life with this type of apology, be very careful about it, because things are going to continue to get more and more uncomfortable. And while they may genuinely say that they want to do the work, they're just at the beginning stages, and as things get harder, it's going to get harder for them. So just keep that in mind. It's not saying don't have the conversation. That's up to you. Make sure you've got your boundaries good and in place. Focusing on the Six of Pentacles. Where is there a give and take happening? Are you giving more than you're receiving? Are you receiving more than you're giving? Really kind of think about that. Have you been giving up of yourself too much at the detriment of yourself for other people to make other people happy? Really pay attention to that today. You might see that really kind of come up right now. What to avoid today? What does the collective need to avoid? Six of Swords. So we're not fully moving on, right? Like I said, there's more work to do on this. Like you might have that aha moment today that really kind of clicks everything for you, but you can't just, you got to do the work. You can't just be like, all right, I'm done with this and walk away. There is a lot of work that has to be done. We have such a bad habit of being like, oh, that's just life, got to keep going, and you just drop things and move on. You have to do the work and process those things, okay? Bottom of the deck is the Sun, which is that, you know, things are bright. It's shining a light. It is highlighting something. It is highlighting these thought processes and such, okay? Make sure that you're not just cutting things off without actually processing it to begin with. You know, you've got to take care of yourself and get yourself in a good place so that you can move forward in a better way, so you don't revert later, right? Clarifiers for our Six of Cups. Oops. Clarifiers for the Six of Cups. We have the Devil. Well, yeah, the energy is kind of thinking about the past, thinking about things were more childlike and fun, right? Because everything else around us is, it's like things feel out of our control, right? So we got the Devil and the Nine of Pentacles. Things feel like they're out of our control, and we just want to be comfortable. We just want to find a place where things felt right. Things felt abundant. So there's like this energy of kind of thinking about the past when maybe things didn't feel quite so out of control. And there is a temptation to go back to that. Just remember, you can't go backwards if you haven't done the work to be able to move forward again in a good way. So, Six of Pentacles, clarifiers for the Six of Pentacles. Oh! We've got Eight of Wands and Two of Pentacles. Things are happening fast, okay? Eight of Wands is like stuff that's just moving really, really quickly, right? And then Two of Pentacles, this is about finding that balance and kind of juggling things. You might find yourself feeling a bit overwhelmed. You might feel like there's just so much stuff happening at a time at this current time that you're like, people are asking for your help, and you're like, I don't have the space for it. I don't have the bandwidth for it. Like, you might be really confronted with that today, where you've got people around you asking you for help, asking you for stuff all the time, expecting you to take on things to make them feel better, all the while you're being bogged down, right? And you might really click for you today where you have been giving yourself up for others at the expense of who you are and what you need to do for yourself, okay? Clarifiers for the Six of Wands. We have Temperance. And this is why we don't want to just let go and walk away from things. We have to actually process them. We have to figure out how to turn all of that into something good. We have to figure out how to move forward from a better place, okay? Temperance and the Star. Okay. I've got 8 of Pentacles on the bottom. So this could actually be about work. It could be about finances. It could be about just doing the work on yourself as well. But Temperance is about transmuting things, right? Transmuting things so you can get to a place of healing, so you can get to that place where you see that star at the end, right? So we don't want to just cut things off and move on. You need to talk about the stuff. You need to process it. You need to work through it in order to heal it, instead of just shoving it down in a box and being like, okay, this is done and over with. I need to do something else now. Sometimes you've got to stop. You've got to slow down. When retrogrades are happening, we slow down, we rethink, we process, and we actually do the work of trying to heal things so that we can move forward from a better space.